It's Friday the 14th of May. I'm Hammy, I'm the Hammy Dressmaker. Welcome back to the channel for today's Friday sews. Today I want to talk to you about my current project, which you can probably see peeking over here. You should be able to hear me a lot better. Thanks Dave for the microphone for my birthday. And I want to talk to you about some of the other birthday gifts that I've got. I'm also going to give you a bit of a guided tour for the cutting table that I received as well, that I highlighted in the last video. Talk to you about some of the fabrics that I've bought for my birthday, and also I have used a viewer's check to buy. So let's start off with what I'm wearing. This is a bit of a disaster, to be perfectly honest. This is a Maria Denmark free t-shirt pattern. I think it's called 001. I think I'll put the correct name below. Completely my fault. I didn't read the instructions and it didn't include the seam allowance, which is fine because it's quite a loose fitting t-shirt. Apart from it, that meant I didn't have enough seam allowance for the actual facing on the top, which is why it's looking a bit kind of janky. It's perfectly wearable though, perfectly happy to wear it around the house. Maybe not to work though. Talking of which, so let's talk about some of the fabrics I bought and why I bought them. So I took a road trip with Alex Judge from Alex Judge Sews. You all should know by now the awesome lady that is. Very kindly who drove me because I'm too chicken to get on the motorway at the moment. Not driving for 12 months, I'm a bit frightened of motorways and places I don't know yet, so thank you for that. And we went to Dewsbury and went to Fabworks first, and then we went to Murfield and So Fabricate, where I met the lovely Sam from Frugalissima. Hey Sam. Even though we're all masked, we all managed to recognise each other. And I bought two fabrics from Fabricate where Sam works as well, which is actually where the viewers check kind of comes in. So in terms of Fabworks, we set off on a rainy Saturday morning, very rainy. We had to wait outside for nearly, I think, 45 minutes in the rain. Got chatting to people and that was nice, even though it was raining. Well worth it to go inside though, really worth the trip. I'm definitely going to have to go back to go and get some of their wool fabrics, which they had for £10 a metre and look really lovely. Which I'm thinking of for another reiteration of this when I finally get the pattern actually sorted. So this is what I bought from Sam. I'll do some close-ups kind of as well. So from, well, not from Sam, but from Fabricate of course, but I got this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous cotton lawn. I got 2.5 meters of this. It's absolutely stunning. It's light as a feather. It's going to feel divine on. No idea what I'm going to make with it, but I've got 2.5 meters, so I should be able to do something nice with it. The next one I got is slightly heavier weight. It's got this lovely tree pattern on it, and although it's probably not showing up on the camera, each of these little gold things actually do sparkle, so it's got quite a lot of texture to it and a lot of light to it. And then I bought a load of stuff from Longsight as well. I'm not going to do a full fabric haul, just kind of, those are just the highlights. So I've got some more toiling fabric, and the lovely Paul Longsight Market contacted me to say that some of you have been in contact, which is nice. Talking of which, this is what I'm working on at the moment. U2 Pinafore, and I bought the material from Paul's store. So I'm not sure if you can see it properly because the light's a bit cack. I should have shot this in the later in the day. So this is kind of a progress thing because it's not completely finished. So I've really struggled with this pattern, to be perfectly honest with you. It's been a bit of a ball ache. And this is the U2 Pinafore from Breaking the Pattern book by Named Patterns. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of a pan down in terms of where I'm up to. So this is the U2 Pinafore. Let me give you a very quick tour of the construction. So down here we've got some back darts. Go to the front. There's the finished armhole I'm up to carrying currently. This was a pain in the arse, followed by the one that I haven't finished yet because, as I said, pain in the arse. The hem currently is turned up at the bottom. It is nearly lined at the front, and then a set of buttons kind of down the front. So it's going to be a pinafore dress. This is giving me trouble all week, but I have to say I'm really pleased currently with what I'm seeing. I think once I finish it, it's going to be a really, really nice garment, I think, which has been very encouraging because, as I say, the book hasn't been of help, to be honest. I think the instructions are fairly poor, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just overly blessed in the past. I've also received some birthday presents as well, including this gorgeous cushion. Look at this. Isn't that colourful and beautiful? So my friend Alison, I've mentioned many times on this channel, sent me that, but she didn't stop there either. She sent me a load of other stuff, some of which I don't think it'll take me forever. I could do an entire video on what Alison sent me. But what she also sent me was this beautiful viscose fabric, which is teal and pink and purple and flowery and all my favourite things all in one fabric. So I actually contacted her and said, like, how much are you going to be selling that one for? She was like, I've already cut you 3 meters for your birthday present, so thank you Alison. I've also had another project kind of on the go this week, a bit different from me, and it's in a bag for a reason. So in the UK, unfortunately one of our big chain stores has gone via the COVID lane, i.e. gone down the spout, and they were selling their stock off at ridiculous prices. So of course I went and bought some shoes and a pair of trousers, and I also found this dress. And according to the pricing label, it was size 18. You're not allowed to try things on in the UK at the moment, so I didn't have the opportunity to do that. So I went, 18, that should be about right. If it's too big, I can take it in. Of course, I brought it home, tried to zip it up, and it's not size 18, it's a size 10. So the other thing I can't do at the moment is donate, because the charity shops here are just getting absolutely bombarded with donations, and they still can't sell to the same extent, so a lot of things will be going to landfill. I thought, am I a dressmaker or not? A dress has got a lot of fabric in it, let's get inventive. So here is the actual fabric itself. As you can see, it's very light, very drapey. It's supposed to replicate the kind of feeling of silk. And I've never sewn with silk before, but I do have some silk to sew with, and I do need something as a bit of a practice, so I thought this was a good candidate. So let me just, the light's a bit cack, to be honest, in here, as you can probably tell, but this is, say, really light, very, very thin. It's held all the kind of holes from all the pleats and things. So I think what I'm going to use is this book, which is by Lasson Victor, and a viewer, somebody that I talk to on Instagram quite a bit, who reads my blog, got in contact with me because I put a shout out to say, does anyone know of any sewing pattern books with a slightly larger size range? And she said, why don't you check this one out? So I did. And I'm glad I did, because it's full of fantastic patterns. The only thing is, it's in Dutch. So you have to get the Google Translate app, go over the page with it, and then it translates it live on the page for you into English. So it's a little inconvenient, but it's not unworkable. You can use the book, and it's full of fantastic patterns. So I'm going to just show you 2 that have got me particularly excited. So this one here is a cami top with some ties at the top. and I think that's what I'm going to try and make out of the thrifted fabric, which took me all week to unpick, by the way. A hell of a lot of stitching in that. And the other one that I really am quite excited about is this one here. Let me focus there. So it's got, so if we put aside the fabric, which is fabulous enough, it is a slight balloon sleeve button down shirt, and it looks like it's made for a drapey viscose or crepe fabric. So I've got quite a few fabrics which would meet that description. So as part of my work wardrobe exploration, that's what I'm planning to do. That's it. Really, that's all the interesting kind of stuff. Oh, I do have some thank yous as well. So I've had a card from Sally. Hi Sally, who I've never met, but we talk to quite frequently on Instagram, and she sent me a lovely card with some rosy cheek labels in it, which were beautiful. So thank you very much for those. I will definitely be using one of those labels in that pinafore thing when it's finished. I don't want to kind of try it on yet, because I just want to make sure that the fit and everything is correct before I show it off as a kind of nearly finished garment. Okay, shall we do? Okay, so this is the cutting table. This is brand name is So Ready, I believe, and on Amazon this was £330. I know, ouch. Thank you very much to the person who bought it me. And so I'm going to give you a bit of a tour of the functions of it, why I think it's why I asked for it as a present, and let's see if you guys think it's 330 quid worth. So first thing is it's got some baskets either side, which are quite long actually, and you can fit one of these in each side. I've got all my cutting tools and all my tracing tools in those baskets, so it's made tracing a little bit more ergonomic, let's say. Oops, breaking the house, never mind. So it's on casters, little casters which have stoppers on it. So it comes out, so it's your typical drop leaf mechanism really. So you get this out here, and it's got a little knobby thing that it slots into and secures into. Of course, as soon as I'm trying to show it off, it won't go in. Let's pretend that's in. Alright, okay. And which is fine because I'm not going to be leaning on it. And this way as well. So as you can see, it's got some lines on it. So I think, imagine those circle things are quite good for circle skirts. Measurement guide kind of at the back. And it measures 90 centimetres in width, with how many? 54 inches wide. So how many? Sorry. So it's 36 inches wide, because I work in inches, and it's 54 inches long. So just over a metre long. So if I get your kind of average, 60, 45, 60 inch wide fabric, I should be able to half it, cut it on the fold quite easily. One of the disadvantages of this is the fact you can't use a rotary cutter directly on top. Surprise, surprise. But it's made out of powder coating, so that the rotary cutter would wreck it. So you're still going to need a cutting board, but it's absolutely perfect for tracing. So you've got a very, very small line that disrupts the flow of tracing, but I haven't found it to be an issue at all. And there's the underneath as well, where I've put my iron on it. So yeah, that was obviously the main present this year, apart from the camera and the microphones and stuff. Away from full length down to the drop leaf takes approximately 10 seconds-ish, if that. So it packs down really quickly. So once you've kind of got it in the slots, dismantling it kind of back down is super easy. It also has height adjustable features as well. Now I didn't build this, my housemate did, and apparently that's where the height adjustment kind of comes in. So you put it on the lowest, but I could really do it with one notch higher to be at perfect height, but I'll tackle that another week. So that's from me from Friday Sews. In terms of kind of upcoming projects, obviously I've got the YouTube Pinafore to do, I've still got the Cherry shirt to do, I still have the Harrison shirt by Cashmerette to do as well. So I've got still plenty on the old cutting table. I don't know when I'm going to start doing thrifting projects, but I thought it was interesting to kind of show you something else that I'm working on, which is a little bit different. Oh yes, Clubhouse. I forgot to mention Clubhouse. So last week we had a lovely conversation on ambassador brandship. Unsurprisingly, I stayed quite quiet on this one because I obviously don't have any sponsors, and to be honest with you, I don't really want to pursue that. But it was really interesting to hear other people's views. And it wasn't just fabric companies, it was also pattern companies as well. And you know, is pattern testing potentially considered brand ambassadorship? Interesting question, I think. So this week we are going to be discussing cosplay, something I've never thought of doing for myself, but we're going to be getting a special guest on. So if anyone wants to join in the Clubhouse and you've got an iPhone, I believe Alex has a link on her Instagram and maybe a video as well, to request one of us to give you an invite, and then we can invite you and then you can join into the conversation. You're not obliged to speak. You know, everyone's welcome to be there as long as you're respectful of everyone else. And it's a really good crowd. It's definitely a highlight of my Sunday. Are you quite finished? Yeah, I'll be down in a minute. Right, my dog sniffing at me in the corridor because he wants to go for a walk. So I think that is absolutely indication that I have to go. So it's been, as always, lovely to speak to you. See you again next